Yesterday was a pretty good Christmas. Got a cool-ass pocket watch from my wife, my brother got me Marnie's Calgar and Kato, and I just spent the time relaxing. Only to come back to people crashing out of my fucking comments about the Space Wolves. This will be my last video on the topic. Because there's a certain pirate lord I want to talk about. 1. 40k isn't real. It's not realistic, it's never followed realism to begin with, and you need to stop making that argument. Because if we're being realistic, no one can live on Fenris. For most of the Fenrisian year, it is a frozen ice ball, with the summer parts being a lava hellhole, with weather so extreme that humans will freeze to death by just going outside. We also don't tend to live on volcanoes, especially active ones. I mean, plenty of real-world examples of why that's a bad idea. Along with the fact that the chapter we're talking about also turns into werewolves because some organs that were made with warp magic by some guy who gives off the energy of a 50,000 watt light bulb made it. Realism went out the window a long time ago. If you're trying to argue realism for why there can't be blacks on Fenris, you are missing the point by a fucking mile. Humanity would never choose to live on planets like Fenris or Nocturne, etc., without heavy terraforming. Again, realism went out the goddamn window. The writers wanted the Space Wolves to live on a cool planet, doesn't mean it has to make sense. It's like Star Wars. There's a lot of cool shit in it, a lot of it doesn't make sense. 2. If you are not racist, I'm not calling you racist. I'm calling Arch and people like him racist. Because that's been their behavior. Their behavior is racist. If you genuinely haven't done a racism, or even intended to do it, then I'm not calling you a racist. But it shouldn't be my job to point that out to you. I like to assume that the majority of people watching my videos are adults. And you should be able to separate yourself from the people I'm talking about. So yeah, it's not realistic is bullshit, and you need to be able to separate yourself from the people that I am talking about. Because if we're using the realism arguments here, there's a lot of problems more than just people existing on an ice ball. Like most, if not all of 40k stops working. Okay, but we're going to get back to the fun stuff, and I'm going to be building and painting this guy later, so joy to me.